I don't always think of the right things when, again,
No, you're fine.
Okay, so for the recording, welcome. Sorry, I've been going on for 15 minutes without recording. We have a Moodle class. We're looking at the welcome and syllabus. There's a table of contents on the right. If you accidentally close it, then this thing opens it back up. And just some highlights. In resources, we have 2 textbooks. And we talked about that the second one by XYZ is a much nicer textbook, but you need a login code, which I just shared for everyone, and I'm not going to put in the recording. So contact me if you need to get into that. Anything else I really care about? This is all good stuff, but I think you are adults and can read this on your own time. Victoria, question.
What is the Miro you invited me into?
Miro, we'll get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
So thank you for the segue. So once we get to the book for each math topic, then there's new pages here. So every time we have a math topic, the top of every page will just have a list of what that topic is to help me know what to talk about and to help you see what you're learning. The first page will just have links to which sections, that little symbol means section, which sections we're doing. By the way, is the font big enough, especially now that I'm recording?
Yeah, it looks good on this end.
Okay. One reason that it's nice to have your own Chromebook in front of you is you can make the font bigger or smaller as you want. Then there's videos. So I've spent a bunch of hours each week trying to find the best YouTube videos for our math topics, because it's very imposing to just try and search for something and maybe you're wasting a lot of time. So here I have all sorts of links to videos for our topics. The to-doodles, the third page, have online activities that are used for review. I made these up when I was doing classes earlier than E. So I don't have them ready for E yet. Maybe I will if I have time this week or this term, make up more of them. But for now, they're just review. We have an online whiteboard. So if you click on that link there, or I'm going to put it in chat because some of you can't get into the book section of the Moodle yet, then instead of writing on the board in the front of the room and then it's just gone, now we will have for every math topic this online whiteboard where we can record whatever we want. I can cut and paste things onto it like I did here. And we can just have text boxes. If I want to make a note, that's a terribly small note. Let's make it a lot bigger, and so on. So you don't have to worry about this so much. It's mostly just for you to read things and talk about, but you have lots of options. So you can take a pen and write on this as much as you want, or things like that. So there's what's
David,
there.
is this what you'll be using when you like work a problem in class?
Yep, I do everything on the whiteboard.
So if somebody doesn't attend class, they can log into this and see all the notes from class?
Right, and that's why we have a video recording too, so you can watch things develop on the whiteboard as they do. So I have the advantage, look at my little camera thing, I have a what's called a tablet, not a tablet like this kind of tablet, although I have one of those too, but a tablet that goes with a stylus, and I can write much more neatly than trying to use a mouse to write on the whiteboards. So you unfortunately don't, so I have to spend hours making to-doodles and other fun things that are more interactive. So we'll come back to this whiteboard later, but not quite yet. And then the last bit is homework. It's called My Open Math. That's another website. If you wanted to, you could make an account with My Open Math yourself and see, there we go, something that looks like this with all sorts of garbage. It doesn't look nice. So fortunately, with Moodle, I can make it look nice for you. So all the different MyOpenMath things for the first math topic are right here. And if you click on one, then it loads that other website without you having to actually see everything. And I can say, oh, look, this is what's happening. For you, it looks a little different because as you saw, I hit teacher preview. So. Okay, any other questions sort of about the types of things we'll be doing? No, I don't
I just have
believe
to
you.
encourage you guys to ask a question, because if you have a question, I can guarantee you someone else has that same question. So
Yeah.
do yourself a favor and learn to advocate for yourself, because you will benefit and the class will as well, right? So like, even if you think, oh, I don't want to ask that, it's a silly question, it's not silly. Like, go ahead and ask. You guys are a small class, so you should be comfortable. You know, it's not like you're in an amphitheater of 100. So if something's not clear, ask David.
Thank you. Okay, but I'm going to start with kind of an icebreakery thing. So it doesn't matter if you don't think you have questions, we'll get them soon. I'm looking at the to-doodles for our first topic. We're starting with number 2 about sorting arithmetic situations. And these review topics we're doing for 2 reasons. One, because review is always good, especially for issues that have some subtlety. It might have been a few weeks, even if you took Math D just last term, but there's people that might not have done any math for months or years, and this is their first math class in a while, and so it's nice to warm up a bit. The other reason is I'm not trusting that your other math teachers, as much as I know and love some of them, did a great job. So I'm going to explain some of these foundational concepts in lots of detail so you get all the subtleties, and that will make learning newer things nicer. For each of these to-doodles, there's 2 links. If you click new copy, it's going to make a new copy of the to-doodle for you to play with. And I encourage you to do this for every to-doodle we do in class. Do it afterwards. Make your own copy and see if you can remember what we did in class. But right now, I'm going to click on class copy, and I urge you to do so also. I'm going to take that link and put it in chat for the people that can't see things in the Moodle. And you should get something that looks like this. I can see people joining up at the top. We have an alligator and a hippo. If I can get 6 people joined, I'll know everyone is here. And we're about to do something cooperative. So if the Zoom people who are not showing their screens could get ready to pause dinner
David, you got a question in here.
and be with us. Yes, Victoria.
How can I log into that without being able to access the Moodle?
He put it in the chat. Do you see it in the
Put it in the
chat? In the Zoom chat?
Oh, I'm not in the Zoom.
Oh, right, of course you're not in Zoom. But aren't they on Moodle?
They are, but they're not able to access. Yeah, we can't access anything.
Oh,
Let
So
me
that's-
just make a new link in, let's see. What's the easiest way to do this?
messages?
Yeah, like you can just message both of them at the link.
Should I join the Zoom?
If you
No,
join the
because you
Zoom,
get,
it's
like,
easiest, 'cause
feedback.
there'll be more of this. If I try and make a link to each one in Moodle, I can, but it'll take a moment.
You know what? Hang on one second, David. So can they join the Moodle meeting, but just mute it?
Yeah,
Let's have you do that. Let's have them do that. So, okay. Go ahead and join Zoom. And then just make sure you mute yourself. And you're the one that has access,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
So
the
you're
only
good.
one that's-
Okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's the
But
exception over
I've-
here.
Nah, well, I don't know. I've done a couple of the ABS classes, so.
No, it's not your first rodeo.
No, but I don't know if that has anything to do with it, you know.
Are you guys both new to Lane?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice to be in Zoom
Right.
even when you're in person, because I will also, when I am physically with you and feeling a little more like I can manage things, put you in groups together. I'm not going to use breakout rooms this week. It would just be one step of too awkward with substitute teachers and different people in different states teaching. But maybe starting next week, we will have Kayla, who has to put her toddler to bed and can't be here in person, working with Victoria, right? And if you are not already in Zoom, then I can't put you in breakout rooms together with someone who's not here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but David, if you're gonna put people in breakout rooms, in person in breakout rooms with Zoomers, they're gonna need to have headphones.
They're gonna need to have headphones. Okay, well, that's part of the what I can
All
get.
the, otherwise you just put in-person people to work in small groups and Zoomers in their own breakout rooms.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think there's headphones upstairs. Okay, so as you can see in my screen, I don't know who is the dragon or the armadillo. I'm just going to assume that all but one of you is here and we can get started. Okay, thank you, everyone. So Jamboards are like that Miro whiteboard, but the simple version. I like the simple version.
Getting there.
I picked Jamboards when I did all of these. Miro has a whole lot of features that we don't need that might be potentially confusing. However, Google decided in November of last year that they're going to stop supporting Jamboards. So I'm not going to spend any more time making Jamboards if they will all go away. So that's why we're switching to Miro. But for the things I've already made.
David, I'm sorry, here in the room, we're still getting into Zoom and it seems like the Zoom, that what you just put in the chat to this Jamboard is not in the chat. Can you put it in again?
I can put it in again, of course.
Yeah,
There we go.
You got it now?
yeah.
Okay, and what about you, do
Because I
that?
joined after he put the link in.
We got one more guy, he's almost there.
Almost there.
Okay, I'll put it in chat again, no rush.
Made it.
Thank you guys online for being patient.
I'm the coyote.
You're the coyote?
The
Too bad you didn't get the coyote.
Every now and then someone gets this special rainbow colored icon and then they get to like, woohoo, I have the better icon than you do, but we don't have those this time.
Can I pretend like I'm the dragon? Yeah, is that work?
We'll all pretend like you were the dragon.
Oh, I like,
Do you like role-playing games or why? Why do you like dragons?
oh, I don't know, I'm just
Oh, you like-
part, so yeah. What's there not to like about a dragon?
Yeah.
Okay, do I need to put the link in chat again?
Hold on, I think,
Very close.
almost. You would do a 20-second countdown maybe.
It's like.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking though. So every Jamboard that we use has this page as the front, which just tells you that, hey, this is the pencil, and go ahead if you're here and start messing up my page. There's an eraser, you can change your color, you can make it look like a highlighter, you can insert a picture if you wanted to, you can make a little post-it note. So go ahead and play around with that.
Oh, I thought they were going for help. I was like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. Help me.
I think they realized that their O is kind of drunk.
If you wanted to put text, the easiest way to do it is with a text box. Because then you don't have to try and write neatly with the mouse. Whoever's doing hello is doing a remarkable job, by the way. That's incredibly difficult to do.
I do not have a mouse, so I'm surprised it even looks that good.
Okay, so let's all move on to the second page.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't force you to go to the second page. So sometimes when we're lecturing, you can just sort of go at your own pace. And that's one of the virtues of this, is you're not dragged along. So talk to each other you're wanting to use all of the digits 1 through 7, one time each, to make the total in each circle the same. It's a complicated Venn diagram.
Oh, I see.
It
So
won't let
use
me
the
interact
arrow
with it.
tool to grab things, right, the select tool, and see if you can move those colored Post-it note squares around. And if everyone tries to grab the number 2 at the same time, it's not going to work. So be talking to each other.
It's not letting me interact with anything.
Who has trouble interacting? I'm sorry.
Me, Thomas,
Thomas, what type of device are you using?
Samsung Galaxy.
You might need to use the actual app called Jamboards instead of the browser.
Yeah, that's what it made me download at
Oh.
first.
Whoops.
I got it.
7,
Put it back.
and then 5, 4.
Wait, are we doing math here?
Yes, we have to make it all 7 every square.
If it won't let you grab something, Thomas, and you can't figure it out, you can also just boss people around. Say, move the number 3 to the circle to the right, or something like that. Somebody made it. We don't need an 8. It's just the digits 1 to 7. No cheating.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh. I see.
Already got it.
Oh, yeah, who's the alligator?
Where's the alligator cheating? We don't want an 8. Click the 8 and hit delete somebody.
Oh, just a box.
If you want to make your own puzzle with different rules, you can, but okay, so that's one solution. You picked ways that every circle has 7 and no number is used in multiple circles. So ta-da, you've done it. You can play around on your own, torture your friends and family members. Is there some way to do it with numbers shared in circles? Or did you find the only way to do it?
There's probably other
Moving on to the 3rd page. When we'll start talking about arithmetic operations. So arithmetic is about, whoops, that should say 4 operations: adding, subtracting, multiplication, and division. But in real life, these look like many different things. So this to-doodle doesn't ask you to solve any word problems. Instead, it wants you to sort them. But first, there'll be some examples. And just as a warning, the examples include pictures. Some people will love the pictures. Other people will hate the pictures. So if the pictures don't work for you, that's okay. Ignore the pictures and just listen to the rest of what's happening. The examples you will see focus on verbs, and that's important. Get in the habit of mentally picturing some action when you're reading a word problem. If you try and focus on adjectives, the descriptive Mad Libs words, you'll get confused because English has lots of adjectives that can apply to more than one type of arithmetic. So if you say the total amount, is that because you had 2 piles and added them together and just pushed the piles of M&Ms together? Or is the total amount because you had multiplication and you gave some M&Ms to each kid at the birthday party, and that's a multiplication problem? Similarly, the adjective leftover doesn't necessarily tell you what arithmetic you did. So if you're used to thinking about adjectives, those are dangerous, and try and change to get the new habit to picture some action. The verbs, the action words are your friends. Okay, I'm on page 4. Addition describes combining things. And I really only have one picture here, one verb. I'm going to use the bottom thing that has a highlighter. And so this picture here, I had 4 things and I had 2 other things and I combined them together. 4 plus 2 is 6. You could picture a pile of 4 M&Ms and a pile of 2 M&Ms and I squished them together. Questions about that part? No. Okay, subtraction. We're getting a little trickier. There's two verbs for subtraction. I can think about removing from. I had 6 things and I took away 2 of them, and now there's 4 left. I had 6 M&Ms and I ate 2 of them. There's 4 left on the table. Subtraction is also a very different verb of counting beyond. If I want to get to 6 and I'm starting at 4, how many more do I need to count? That's subtraction. 6 minus 4 is 2. I need to go 2 more steps. Everyone okay with this part?
Yeah.
Hopefully this makes sense to you, even if no one's ever spelled it out in such detail before. Okay, now we get crazy. Multiplication has 4 different verbs that work for multiplying. The first one is when we're copying all of something, like a photocopy machine. I had 6 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then faintly behind them, it's like I photocopied them. Maybe I gave 6 M&Ms to 2 different people. So there's your 6 and my 6, and that's 12 total, something like that. Everyone okay with copying? If you do, if you're have ever taught elementary school or did substitute teaching there or student teaching, that's the one that people will teach you first, usually when you're a kid. But multiplication also has other verbs. So shattering. If I had 6 cupcakes and I cut each one into 2 pieces, because the kids at the birthday party are little and they don't get a whole cupcake each, then that's also 6 times 2 is 12. The pieces are now smaller than the original. Everyone okay with both of these and see how they're actually a little bit different? I hope you're okay. If you're just a black screen on Moodle, I can't see you nodding the way Pesum Suk is slowly nodding. So I hope you're okay. Selecting some fraction of. If I say I have half of 6, then that's multiplying. I had 6 things. Half of them were ones I liked. Yay. Half of them were like spoiled vegetables or something. I didn't like them. Boo. So 1/2 times 6 is 3. That's multiplying. And if you don't believe me, because it's been a while, then you can take your calculator and go where's my fraction key? There we go. 1/2 times 6, and it tells you 3. Okay, last multiplication verb, selecting a percentage of. If I say what's 50% of 6, that's the same thing. 50% is just the percentage way to say half of something. So it's the same picture. Okay, questions about any of those? If you're a black screen in Moodle, give me some sort of thumbs up emoticon or something so I can see you're still here and awake.
I get it.
Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Okay, division gets a little bit more abstract. If I want to divide things, there's different verbs, and there's 4 of them. They sort of match the multiplication ones. I can clump things into equal size piles. I had 6 things, and I'm going to put them in groups of 2. So here's one group of 2, here's a second group of 2, and here's a third group of 2. So clumping things into equal size piles is division. And if you are, again, someone that's done student teaching in elementary school or some other work with kids, this is often the first one you say. You say, look, I have 6, M&Ms objects on the table. If I make piles of 2, then I have 3 piles, 1, 2, 3, and that means 6 divided by 2 is 3. A second verb is shattering. This looks strangely the same. Why is one multiplying and the other dividing? I'm saying I have 6 things and I'm breaking them into pieces of size 1/2. Which is a different English verb from I have 6 things and I'm breaking each of them into 2 pieces. But the result is the same. If you are breaking things into 2 pieces, then that's multiplying. If you are breaking them into pieces of a certain size, that's dividing. Everyone okay with that very tricky thing? You say you are, we'll test you in just a moment. Okay. The last one is what fraction out of or what percentage out of. If I say, what is 2 out of 6? There are 2 things I like out of 6 things total. The other 4 I don't like. Then that's dividing. 2 divided by 6. You've probably seen it looking something like 2 over 6, because fraction bars mean division. And then you would want to reduce the fraction. And get 1/3. So that's probably how you're used to seeing that. But what fraction out of? And then this last picture is the same thing, but instead of writing our answer as a fraction, we write it as a percent. What percentage out of this amount? If there are 6 people in the room, 2 of them are left-handed, what percentage are left-handed? Okay, questions about anything on this slide before we go on? Okay. So now it's your turn to move things around. Grab that select thing. You're going to have to take the operation symbols. You can do Control D to make a duplicate of them, or Control C, Control V, and put them in where they go for each of these sentences. You don't have to solve the problem, but if it's an addition sentence, put a plus next to it. If it's a subtraction sentence, put a minus next to it, and so on. So grab these, move them around, talk about it, use the arrow so that it'll actually move, and see if we can get this done. I'm going to make my screen slightly wider just so that the
It's a joke, what happened?
that was impressive.
Hey, everybody in the classroom is chuckling.
Let me have one of those.
Right.
Okay, so somebody said plus for the first one. We'll talk about it together in a moment. Oh, don't delete the questions. Hit undo, Control Z, or up here on the top corner.
Let me.
Oops, where did we go?
And that's good question.
You need me to grab another copy of it?
I don't know if it's coming back.
Whoever did it must not have known.
Let me go to my original. I'm not letting you play with my originals, of course. I'll get those back.
I went back and just kept.
Teacher, can you try to undo it?
Somebody.
Undo it.
Yeah,
and
I
do it on the
created it.
12th.
I'm making it.
Oh,
And make it big and green and even bigger.
I'll turn your battery.
My eyes.
Not sure why I can't make it as big as it should be. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, lots of votes for which things are which. I'm going to talk about them. And first we'll see if we have a consensus, and then I'm going to go back to the previous page and steal pictures and put the picture where they go. So for the first one, to prepare for a party, you make 10 vanilla and 10 chocolate cupcakes. How many total did you make? Somebody suggested addition. Whoops, let me grab the order, send it back. Okay. Everyone happy with addition?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're combining one group of 10 with another. That's just combining addition. Now it gets a little harder. Most people like frosting. You have 4 colors of frosting, and each of those colors you put on 4 cupcakes. How many cupcakes get frosting? And it looks like that's mostly times, but maybe is that minus for this one, or is that the next one?
It's the next one probably.
So everyone thinks it's times. Okay, if you all think it's times, which picture is it?
copy.
Copying. Yeah, we have 4 colors, and each color we copy onto 4 cupcakes. After the party, there are 6 cupcakes left over. You eat 2 of them. How many are left? Everyone thinks that's subtraction. Which type of subtraction is it?
Removing.
Yeah.
Removing. Yeah, we're removing 2.
Removing.
After the party, there are 6 cupcakes left over and you eat half of them. How many are left? Everyone votes division. Which division picture is it?
What fraction of it? Or no, it's shattering into.
Selection?
Yeah. I eat half of 6 cupcakes.
Oh, that's subtraction.
It's going to be 3 to 6
It's
in the
shattering.
4, so it is division.
Pretty sure it's shattering. But it could be a fraction out of. No, it's not
We
one
would
fraction.
call it clumping. We have 1 clump I eat and 1 clump I don't eat,
Okay,
right? So like 1 blue bunch is what's still there and 1 is on the plate that I'm taking into the dining room, or however this works.
You got a question in the room? Oh, sorry.
It
Sure.
said that, it said you ate half of them, right? Half
Yeah.
being a,
So I'm picturing that there's 6 cupcakes. There's a clump like the top row that I
Right.
ate, and the clump, the bottom row that I didn't eat. You could imagine I'm putting them on a plate. Here's 3 on this side of the plate. Here's 3 on this side of the plate. And then I eat my half and bring my other half to somebody else or something like that.
no, I get it, I just feel like since the wording says half, which is a fraction, I figured it'd be shattered.
Ah,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
not taking each cupcake and cutting it in 2.
Alright,
Little
she
bit.
got that.
That's a good thing to pick up on, man.
It'll get a little more clear now. After the party, there's 6 cupcakes left over. You eat 2 of them. What fraction did you eat? That one's pretty obvious just because of the wording.
Yeah, with fraction.
Yeah, what fraction out of? And then after the party, there's 6 cupcakes left over. If you eat half a cupcake as a snack, how many snacks will you get before you run out? So that's where I'm breaking them up. I'm shattering them into pieces. I'm not eating a whole cupcake at a time. I'm just eating half of a cupcake. So there's 1 snack, there's another snack, there's a 3rd snack, there's a 4th snack. Questions about that page? Okay, thank you for your help getting that done. If we were really doing this as maybe a Math C class, then I would now take time to have you write word problems for each other and exchange them and try repeating what we did, not solving them, but just sorting them. Since this is review for Math E, I'm not going to take the time in class to do that. But if this was a useful thing to do, then ask someone, friend or family member, to make some more sentences for you and see if you can sort them. And you could bring them to us on Thursday and we'll all talk about them together. Especially if you email them to me in advance, because then I can put them on the whiteboard. Okay, so discussion, all the to-doodles end in a discussion topic. Again, not as important in Math E when it's review, but think about what strategies you already have, because you have ways for turning word problems into arithmetic. What strategies and tools do you have that we didn't talk about yet in class? And did this to-doodle give you any new ideas on how to turn word problems into arithmetic things? Okay, it's almost 7. I need to do a break at 7, partly because that's good to clear out our brains a little, and partly so Kayla can put someone to bed. I'll see you at about 7:10 if you need to go anywhere. I'm going to refill my cup of tea because I'm talking a lot. If you have questions, feel free to keep asking them, and otherwise I'll see you all at about 7:10. Sound good? Okay, disappear if you need to. Questions? Who has questions more important than a break? No. If you are sticking around,
You guys should get up though, take a break, get some,
yeah, stretch your legs. If you're really bored, I'm gonna put something in the chat that you can work on ahead of everyone. But it's not expected. Move around, be happy.
Yeah.
But there's our next brainstorming thing. Okay, see you soon with more tea.
So Chloe, what did you say, psychology, and then what was the psychology class?
It's psychology 201.
Just in a mute, want to use the detail.
For the recording, welcome back from break. Sorry, I forgot to hit pause earlier. That was boring, but oh well.
Got it figured out. I don't know my favorite symbol a little bit.
What's that?
I got it figured out.
Do you?
Yeah.
Go ahead and move it on the screen or just use your voice and direct someone else to move them around.
Well, we need 6 at the end for sure.
Six at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
And then 4 and the second one. It kind of worked. I kind of
but not the light.
perfect. And
We did it.
we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 3, 4. Yep.
Yep.
7, 3, 4, 6.
Ta-da.
What was the
I had the 3 and 6. I was like going through it like it was a combination
I
of a
went
lot,
backwards.
man. Like going.
I,
through
I,
all
just-
the-
I started at the last one just because I was like twice as many, and then that figures out 2 right there.
Right.
Oh, actually, wait, let me switch 2 of them. 2 need switched because I switched something out.
So
So we're not good, actually.
Oh, he said stars.
Oh, I guess we're. Yeah.
Wasn't it right? First pile,
Never
has-
mind, never mind.
second has.
I'm overthinking it. We're good.
I mean, this
I'm
was
something good.
right. Yeah, now we're ready.
Yeah, I just overthinking, we're good.
Okay. There's a great game you haven't seen, the Invisible Fairy Race. Ignore that. We need to know what square roots are. If you've forgotten, look at this picture. It's called the square root because square side confused people or something like that. But if you have a square of 25, like tiles on the kitchen floor or something, then each edge of the square, each side of the square is 5. So we write 5 is the square root of 25. That ring a bell for everyone? If this is new, holler. Okay, what's the square root of 4? 2. What's the square root of 9?
3,
3. What's the square root of 16?
4, 4.
4. Everyone okay with that?
That was fast.
Somebody almost wrote 8. It's not half
Eight.
when you multiply by itself. No,
Sorry.
that's fine. So yeah, 2, 3, and 4 are the answers.
Mm.
Someone doesn't like my handwriting and erases it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's a famous challenge to try and make all the numbers between 1 and 10 out of 4 4s. So to get started, 1 equals 4 divided by 4. What's any number divided by itself?
1.
1.
And then I'm going to multiply that by another 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, 2 equals, and so on. You could try and make every number between 1 and 10 using 4 4s. To make 10 as a hint, you need the square root. We're not going to do all 10 of them now, but do a couple. Remember, you can use a text box if that's easier than trying to handwrite.
Oh, yeah, wait, how do you do one?
You go to that left-hand column, there's like a little box. Code, can you show me text box?
I just swear it's this thing. Yeah. That's.
Sorry.
You can double tap on my text box and edit, or use this to make your own text box. Don't I make mine a text box too? Just
I
so-
like really got computer science stuff, so keyboards are like still pretty foreign, I'm most used to this, so I'm trying to find the division, we're good.
I don't have division, so that's right. What's that?
Yes, if you don't have division, you can use / like that. Or you can just grab division from somewhere else on the internet and copy and paste it. So I can do that for you, so you have one to copy and paste. Okay, copy and paste one of our text boxes to make 3 happen. Or make your own text box.
Already made one, so. Right.
And if someone's working on 3, someone else can make 4.
Okay, alright, so I think we're over.
What are we making?
3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you wanna make. Just throw in 4, you can tell, work, like, look on 3 a little bit.
Yeah, we're not going to be thorough. We're just
I didn't know I didn't have to say the text box.
text boxes are much easier.
Yeah.
Someone's using 6s. That's a different challenge. We're using 4s. We'll have a race. Somebody finish one of them and then we'll move on because we don't really care about this.
Okay, I'll do the 4 because it's easy. Close, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone get any number between 3 and 10? Smash 4s together, see what happens.
Close.
Thanks.
I can finish 4 for you.
Oh, wait, no, I got a really easy way to do this. I'm overthinking.
Okay, yeah, it's easy to overthink.
No.
It's going in.
I gotta save it. We're gonna, and just gonna type it out and save and it goes.
You can just tell it out loud. I can be your secretary.
Okay, 9 equals, parentheses, 4 plus 4.
One moment. 9 equals.
It's so weird.
Somebody covered me up. Okay, 9 equal. Come back. My 9. Okay, quantity 4 plus 4.
Plus
Mhm.
4 divided by 4.
4 divided by 4. Great. I'll do another one. So 4 minus 4 is 0. Times 4 is still 0. And then if we add 4, we finally get away from 0 up to 4. So again, torture your friends and family members. See if you can get them to finish this all the way up through 10. The important thing here is that we understand some order of operations. If I show you something like this, you know that the parentheses happens first, and that turns the 4 minus 4 into 0. Then multiplication happens next. 0 times 4 is still 0. And then 0 plus 4 is 4. So if you don't understand some order of operations, you can't write down your answer. You could describe out loud what's happening like a story, but you can't write it down nice. So what we care about in this class is 2 different words. One of them is an equation, and the other one is an expression. And maybe you haven't heard these used carefully before. If there's an equal sign, it's an equation. So this stuff is the same as that stuff. If there's no equal sign, then it's just an expression. All of these will eventually turn into one number, right? This one's the 15. This one's the 16. But if I'm not writing equals 16, then it's called an expression. There are some math teachers that are impolite and use words simplify and solve ambiguously. It just sort of means read your teacher's mind and tell me what answer they want. But if we're speaking correctly, simplify is what you do to an expression to smash everything together until you're all done and get one number. So we could say that this one is 15. We're simplifying. You can't simplify an equation because the equal sign is sort of asking a different action to happen. I can't smash everything together because I have 2 things, a thing on one side of the equals and a thing on the other side of the equals. So instead, the word we use is we solve an equation. And when we solve an equation, the puzzle is someone has hidden a number from us. 3 plus something is 7. Oh, I know, it's 4, right? Or if I have 4 times 3 is 12 plus 4 more, that's 16. For some reason, once we get out of elementary school, we stop using these boxes, even though boxes are great, and we start using letters instead for the missing number. But the game is still the same. What goes in this box to make the equation true? Everyone okay with the vocabulary here? Equation versus expression, and simplify versus solve. Yeah, thumbs up if you're just a black screen, so I know that the other Zoomies are with us. Or say something in chat. Okay, or that works too. Okay, if we wanted to do even more, we could do a word problem, but good enough for now. We're almost done with the good review I want to do tonight. By the way, I've never had a math class that like ran out of time in the term to cover all the stuff we're supposed to cover. So don't worry about that. If it seems like we're moving slow, it will all work out in the end. And if not, oh well, there's a first time for everything. Okay, so here's our new and third bit of review for tonight. And then we can really get going with new stuff and we'll have the right words to talk about it carefully. I'm going to skip our warm up. We've done 2 already. And I'll just start lecturing and then give you your task. So we've seen that division creates fractions. We even did that a little today. Hopefully you have lots of examples in your math history. And that means that any fraction can be rewritten as a division expression. If I have this fraction, I can say the numerator, the top, is one thing. The denominator, the bottom, is the other thing. And I can replace the fraction bar with a division symbol. So fraction bars are just grouping symbols. It's basically like you have parentheses there. You just don't see them. Everyone okay with that? Okay. Now, raise your hand or say something in chat or put a emoticon thumb up in Zoom or something. Who knows PEMDAS? Have you heard of PEMDAS before? If you haven't, that's actually not a bad thing because PEMDAS isn't the best way to think about things. If you were taught it correctly, it works great, but there's a danger to PEMDAS, and here's this danger. Which answer for 8 divided by 4 times 2 is correct? Do we say, let's do the 4 times 2 first, because when I'm going down PEMDAS, the M comes before the D. If I did that, I would get 8 divided by 8, and the answer would be 1. Or should we do the 8 divided by 4 first? Because for some reason we're going left to right. In which case this would turn into a 2 and we get 2 times 2 is 4. So 1 and 4 are obviously different. These can't both be right. So there's only 3 of you in Jamboard. More of you come into the Jamboard, put check marks or something. Which of these do you vote for? Do you like the top one or the bottom one? And if you're not in the to doodle, then just shout out or put in the chat for Zoom top, bottom, and I'll record your mark.
Oh, see, now it's a double.
Votes for the bottom. Some chat says bottom. I'll make a mark for them. Okay, everyone seems to be pretty anonymous. No one is picking the top. Okay, moving on. And yes, the bottom was right. So,
Is that because it doesn't have parentheses?
it's because PEMDAS actually has the M and D. Whoops, that's not a highlighter. M and D have equal priority, and adding and subtraction have equal priority. And when all that's left are things with equal priority, you go left to right. So when all that's left is multiplying and dividing, you go left to right.
So basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone voted correctly, even if you were just following Peter. Hopefully you taught that right and didn't get stumped. If it was taught wrong to you, not your fault. Okay, there's a better way to think about order of operations, because if I give you something like this, and all you know is PEMDAS, this seems very scary. So what's the better thing to do? And the answer is a word called terms. I'm assuming you've never been taught about terms. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm still going to pretend you haven't. So terms are parts of an expression separated by plus or minus from each other, and they're outside parentheses. So if I wanted to say how many terms are in the blue guy, then I keep going. Aha, here is a plus or minus outside parentheses. So all of this was one term. And then the next term, up, I get to the end, I'm done. So 2 terms for that one. Okay, call out on the green one. When do I stop?
There.
There.
There, yeah.
Mm,
So that was one term because this was a plus or minus outside parentheses.
There.
And this 5 is its own term. Okay, now the red one. Let's call out when I stop.
There.
There, okay, because of that.
There.
There.
In there.
Okay, so this was 4 terms in red, and green was 3 terms. Now let's actually simplify these things. And it's going to be easier than it looks because of terms. So we had 2 terms here. Each term is completely independent. I could say, you know what? I actually want to like hide this one and not look at it, and we would be fine with that. So what's 8 times 2?
16.
16.
Okay. And for this first term, where do I start?
And then
4 + 2.
parentheses.
Past,
Parentheses.
4 + 2
Well, plus 2 is 6. And then 6 divided by 3?
equal to
2. Okay, and get rid of my silly box. Okay, and then 2 + 16 is 18.
18.
So I can do each term separately, and this plus just sort of hangs out until I'm ready to use it at the last step. Let's look at another one. So we had a term here, and there, and there. This minus is just going to hang out until I'm done, and this plus is just going to hang out until I'm done. Okay, the first term, I don't have to do them in order,
10.
but I might as well. There's only multiplying and division, so I'm going left to right. Half of 4.
10, 10, almost
Yeah, 2 times half of 4 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. The next term, where do I start?
9 minus
9,
1.
9,
9 minus
minus
1
1.
is 8.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's a terrible 4. Okay, 3 times 8,
24.
24. 24 divided by 4.
Six.
6. And then 5 is just a 5. And finally, at the bottom, we're all done. So we go across.
71.
10 minus 6 is
Oh,
4.
no, 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 no.
5 is
10 minus
5.
9.
Everyone happy with this page?
Mhm.
Okay. Try this one on your own, and then we'll talk about it together. There was this term, that term, and that term. Don't think we actually need 3 rows. No, no, don't show us. Do it on your own. Write on some paper or something. Okay, if you're not done, try not to be too distracted. What happened with the first term, the 8 times 2?
15.
16. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to stay 16 as we go down. 14 divided by 7?
2.
2. Okay, this one actually has 2 steps. 19 minus 4?
15. And then
And then
Still
15
5.
divided by 3 is 5.
5,
And 90 divided by 9?
10, 9, 10.
So if I have 16 things and I take away 2, I'm down to 14. Then I add 5 more, I'm up to 19.
9,
And then I take away 10,
9.
9. Everyone get 9? Did I make any mistakes? I make mistakes too. Part of going to math grad school is that by the time I got my master's in math, I have made more math mistakes than you and your entire family will ever make unless you also go to math grad school. You will never catch up. So, okay, a great place to see terms is area puzzles, but we don't care about that. We're done with this. Okay. Let's look at what we've done because it's 7 minutes till the end of class. We talked about, I'm going to make this bigger. I don't believe you that the font is okay. Okay. We did. Actually, I'm just going to go here because I put it here, so why not? By the way, in Miro, the basic thing to know is if you hold down your alternate mouse button, it moves things instead of picking things. But I'm just going to zoom in and say, So did we do these things? We did. Order of operations. Yes, we actually did that one, right? We talked about PEMDAS and terms and how to simplify these things. Did this make you happy? Did this feel like you were capable compared to where you thought you were? Okay, back over here. Did we evaluate expressions? Did we plug numbers in? No, we sort of talked about solving just for a moment, but that's something we'll do next class, plugging numbers into formulas. I'll get back to that. Did we simplify an expression by combining like terms? No, we haven't talked about like terms.
No.
That's also next time. Did we turn word problems into algebra?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of it. We mostly sorted them, but that was the hard part. We'll have lots of this throughout the term. We didn't do anything yet with positive or negative, and we didn't do solving equations and inequalities yet. So we really only checked off 2 things, but we got a lot of foundational work done. So the other things will go fast. Not that I ever rush too much, hopefully, but if I ever go too fast, holler. Was the pace okay today, as long as I'm talking about that?
Yeah.
Too slow, too fast? Put things in chat if you want. Okay, I need to keep track in my grade book. Who is it that was not able to see in Moodle these books? So when you go to click on welcome and syllabus, it doesn't let you do that. So Victoria,
Both of us.
Yeah, it just,
Victoria and Isaiah.
yeah.
Okay.
Thomas does them too.
Into book and Moodle. Anyone else, just in case it helps the computer people diagnose what's wrong? Because it's really strange. Some of you can and some can't.
Thomas?
Yeah, can you click on the welcome and syllabus in the Moodle and have it work?
That.
No, I can't.
Does it make an error message? I'm not sure. Whoops, that's not what I want. What's works? Okay. Doesn't work, says Paul then, and doesn't work, says Kayla.
I guess. I
Took one of these classes last term, that's the only thing I
Probably
can think
help.
of, so.
probably does help.
I mean, like, I'm actually signed into the guest Wi-Fi here, and it works good for me, but everybody else
It
actually.
shouldn't matter where you're signed in, and I put the class so that you don't even have to log in, right? So if I log out completely, then if I go back there, one moment, let me get that.
Log in,
My colleague
log in,
walked me
just
a little
log
bit.
in.
Sorry,
Well, you said sorry, that's it.
yeah, sorry, but you do not currently have permission to
Yeah.
do that.
That's
You,
what it's going to. And then it says like learn more, and you can actually learn more.
well,
Yeah. Right, so now I am,
Did you guys get into Moodle from a link David sent you, or did you log in?
I logged in.
I logged in.
yeah, because I can do it without even logging into Moodle, so that's very strange. I can put the Moodle link in chat just in case to see if that fixes anything, but it's really bizarre.
Also, give us the link. Like, no, you will allow it.
Yeah, does logging in that way work better somehow?
Yeah, just normally just log in and use the email of friend, and then the student will see the class will show in the front of the dashboard. For my side, yeah, for my side, I always do that.
So you, okay. Well, hopefully, see
So
the,
when I'm not logged in, it doesn't work when I am logged in.
So I went into the error and it said that the feature is part of the roles framework introduced in Moodle 1.7. So
what's secretly happening, I'm guessing, see, if you are on our main page, the title of our class looks nice, right? Winter 2024. That's not really the title of our class. The title of our class is that we're merging people who are enrolled with two different CRNs. And I'm guessing that somehow that merging process is
Yeah,
not.
I might have to mess it up, because it works when I'm not logged in, but it won't work when I am logged in.
So, okay.
is
Well,
that,
you just don't do homework if you're not logged in, because it won't remember it.
Yeah.
So
I heard do homework.
you have an excuse not to do homework for 2 days. Okay, speaking of homework, if I have 1 minute left, I will encourage you to do homework. You have a lot to do. You can read through the welcome if you're not logged in. Read all of this stuff. It's all good stuff that I spent time making and is worth reading. I encourage you to explore the textbooks, especially the nice one that uses my son's login stuff. I will put that again in chat. It's and the password is just password. So go to this XYZ book and play around with how wonderful it is. If we need more than one copy because people like always want to study at the same time, then I can get another one, but I'd rather not spend so much money. But play around with your resources and things. Also, if you want to do homework but can't log in well and do stuff, then come on, go back. You
well,
can,
how are you finding that class when you're not logged in?
because I made it public, which is why
Yeah,
it's.
but where are you finding it though? I can't even find it when I'm not logged in.
Yeah, you can use the link he sent, but that's
I
about
just
it.
put a link in chat.
Yeah. I'm not in
And it
Zoom
does-
anymore. So.
On the
It's
emails,
also in the email I sent out to everyone. So you can also look at videos without having to worry about my open math and logging in. So see what you can do. And you can review the to-doodles. Pick any of our review topics, click on the one that says new copy so you don't mess up the class copy. And whoop, that one says my copy. It should say new copy. So you have a lot you can play with for 2 days. And I'll encourage you to do some of that. Don't let this all just drift out of your brain and lose your momentum that you have now. If you try and do all your homework over the weekend, it won't work as well. Yes, question.
So say you can log in and everything works fine, so the homework is located on the My Open Math.
Yes, the homework is in the My Open Math. There's two sections for this first topic. There's some just sort of how to use My Open Math if you haven't done it before, how to enter the problems and answers in ways that the computer likes. Because if you do the math right, but type it in a way that confuses it, it'll mark it wrong. And then the ones that are actually good homework. Victoria, yes.
So if I'm not logged in, will the work that I'm done and stuff that I'm
It just
doing not save?
disappears into the cloud, Care Bear land, as my mom would have called it. So don't do My Open Math if you're not logged in. It's just going to waste your time, or it might not waste your time.
You just gotta probably wait until it's figured out.
Is there
Yeah.
somebody I can talk to that could help me access this while I'm logged in?
I'm going to visit the Zoom room for the teacher tech help tomorrow and see what. So hopefully I'll send you an email by lunchtime saying that they fixed it. They wake up and open their Zoom room at 10, so that's when I can figure out what's wrong. Any other questions? We're 3 minutes late. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time and effort and cooperation. Hopefully this was a good use of your evening, and I look forward to the rest of the term.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to stick around just in case Judith or Chloe have tear down things to talk about.
No questions, David. We'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.